Hello, this is going to be some Q&A practice for the 120 class. We're going to start off with the court. Ready? All right. Is this your witness? Yes, Your Honor. This is one of my witnesses. All right. The other witness hasn't arrived as yet. Will you please state your name and address for the record, sir? My name is Peter Townsend, Townsend. My address is 7809 Del Mar Road, El Paso, Texas. Mr. Townsend, what is your occupation? I am a deputy sergeant. Sir, how long have you been a deputy sergeant? Let's see, for approximately 10 years. In the last 1 year, have you had any occasion to see, in the course of your duties as a deputy sergeant, the defendant, Daniel Elmore? Yes, I have. And will you tell us where you have seen Mr. Elmore, and under what circumstances? Yes, in the last year, I have been assigned duty at the main jail facility in downtown El Paso. What has your contact been with Mr. Elmore? I have had contact with Mr. Elmore through my work at the main jail facility when I work in the minimum security area where he is housed. I have had conversations with him. Will you explain what the minimum security area is at the jail? Yes, the minimum security area in the jail is basically made up of 4 sections, sections A, B, C, and D. Section C is where Mr. Elmore is housed. It has dorm areas where you will find anywhere from usually 10 to 16 inmates in a dorm. There is a rec room for every 40 to 60 inmates. There is a special area for trustees. So Mr. Elmore was housed in Section C? Yes, he was. Is he currently housed there? Yes, that's my understanding. Okay, and are you still in Section C? Yes, I am, but I do move all around the jail. The deputies and guards are assigned to various decks on an alternating 3-day basis to make sure our job doesn't get strictly routine. So I may work Section C once a week, and then again, I may not work it for a week. The change helps the jail personnel to keep on top of things. Okay, in the course of your work, have you had occasion to talk to Daniel Elmore? Yes, I have. And what did you talk about? Oh, just real general things, sports, weather, etc. Sometimes we'd talk about what's happening in the jail, what's happening today, how are you doing, this type of thing. Just real casual conversation for the most part. Did he ever talk to you about his family? I don't remember. Okay, you don't recall? Did you ever have any problems with Mr. Elmore while he was in jail? I personally never had any problems with Mr. Elmore at all. Well, have you found him to be cooperative, respectful, or dutiful, or what? In my experience in working in the jail and having had contact with Mr. Elmore, I have had no real problems. He has also always done everything that I have asked him to do. Has he done it willingly, or has he exhibited any hostility? He has always helped me willingly. Do you know an inmate, or did you know an inmate by the name of Thomas Porter? Yes, I did know Mr. Porter. Okay, and was Mr. Porter housed in the same dormitory with Mr. Elmore? Yes, he was. Did Mr. Elmore try to help Thomas Porter? What do you mean by help? Did Mr. Elmore exhibit concern and respect when dealing with Thomas Porter? Yes, it's my understanding that in observing them, that they had a pretty strong relationship as far as respect and caring for each other. Was it a brother-type relationship? Well, yes, there would be respect, caring, and concern. Do you know whether or not Daniel Elmore kept in touch with his family? I don't have any knowledge of that. Did he talk to you about his children, his wife? I don't recall. Can you think of anything else that you can say on behalf of Mr. Elmore? No, I can't. No further questions at this time. Counsel, cross-examination. Thank you. I take it Mr. Elmore has been in a minimum security area of Section C all of this time? Yes, ma'am. He is in one of those areas of the prison which, in terms of the jail security, has minimum restrictions placed upon the behavior of the prisoners, upon what they can do. Is that right? That's right. I have nothing further. Redirect examination. Do you know a person by the name of Albert Egan? Yes, I do. Have you seen him, Mr. Egan, visiting with Mr. Elmore? Yes, I have on several occasions. Did Mr. Elmore ever mention the Bible to you or anything of a religious nature? No. Did you ever see Mr. Elmore reading the Bible? On occasion, I have seen him reading the Bible, yes. Okay, I'm going to switch transcripts. This is colloquy practice. It's going to start off with the court. Number 3, Southern California Edison. Good morning, Your Honor. Michael Wuster appearing for the plaintiff. Good morning, Your Honor. Mark Griffin for defendants and moving parties. Before I get into the major points I wish to make, just as a procedural point of clarification, this office represents both Southern California Edison Company and the Shabatas. However, I'm sorry, I said that motion for defendant Edison and Jeffrey and McCosco Shabata for judgment on the pleadings. Right, but this motion is only being brought on behalf of Southern California Edison. Oh, okay, thank you. What the court seems to be relying on is some other type of language which has been found in the plaintiff's complaint, which says, quote, among other things, the defendants failed, end quote. So I called this boilerplate language. As I already quoted, and I noted, that's not really nothing more than boilerplate language, which can be found in one of the Horn books on pleadings. With all due respect to the court, I would submit that this type of boilerplate language was sufficient pleadings. Then no demur would ever be sustained, or no motion for judgment on the pleadings, which would ever be granted, because virtually every complaint has the same type of language. And Well, counsel, the problem is that when it comes to negligence, yes, all you have to say is they were negligent. You don't have to say how they were negligent. In fact, when I went to law school, we were specifically taught never plead how they were negligent, because if you do, you're bound to that. Now, he pled in part how they were negligent. He didn't. But he didn't say they were negligent in that they did X and X. They did X and other things. Okay, this concludes our Q&A practice for the 120 class. Have a great day.